Hello, everyone. I just wanted to come here today because I'm I've been thinking about the prize that I'm after. I've been thinking about my goals and just absolutely things that I really, really desire, like my dreams, my visions. And because I have been in my own way, I just really never believed that they could ever come true. Honestly, I did. However, I have learned and I am discovering more of who I am. And I know that there are certain beliefs that I need to unbelieve in order to reach my goal. I got to give up something. You have to give up something. And what's so beautiful about this is that I'm ready to give it up. And what I'm going to be giving up is self-doubt. Another thing I'm giving up is shame. I'm also going to give up unworthiness. Sometimes when you have to give up things, you feel maybe some type of loss or disconnect from that thing that you're giving up, that you're separating yourself from. Change is happening. And when change occurs, we can be uncomfortable. So I am ready to give those things away and give up, to disconnect from shame, doubt, fear, and unworthiness. I am so worthy. I am so worthy if I never do anything else. I am worthy because I'm here. I am here. So I stopped in today to say, what are you going to give up in order to reach your goal, to get your prize, to realize your vision, to actualize what you desire? What are you going to give up? And listen, whenever you give up things, whenever you separate, there are these emotions that come up, like you've kind of been married to these ideas, these beliefs, this entire belief system we have been married to. You're not married to your partner. You are married to the belief. That's it. And so, understanding that now, it just gives me a lot of freedom, and it gives me a lot of empowerment and agency. It gives me some sovereignty and accountability. Accountability. I cannot say that this is someone else's issue. I cannot say that someone else is causing me to believe or behave this way. I cannot say it. Because once I know, it becomes my responsibility. So I'm okay with that. What are you going to give up? What do you want to give up? There's lots of things that we can release ourselves from, but I'm starting with shame, doubt, fear, and unworthiness. And it has shown up. I've walked around like being as confident as I can There are lots of things that I'm confident about. But just being as confident as I can. But I know that I have not felt worthy. If you have ever thought about doing something, starting something, and you did not do it, and you won't do it because you don't believe that you can, you don't believe that you have the money, that you don't believe you can, don't believe you have the money, you don't believe you're smart enough, somebody's not going to listen to you, don't believe that anybody's going to listen to you, you don't believe that you have what it takes, you are afraid to use your passion, thumbs up, you're afraid to use your passion because you don't think that your passion is going to make the money, pay the bills. Yeah, that's lack. That's lack. That's a lack mentality because, and it's fear. Because if you think about it, I mean, we were taught like you need to go to school, get an education. That's what I was taught. Get an education because that you can never erase that, right? My mother was like, learn, get an education, work, get a job, do something that you love, and so that you can earn some money though. Yeah. So we were encouraged. I was encouraged. So I cannot say that I wasn't, but I was encouraged through the belief system of my parents. And that was, you need to get a job. You got to get some education. You can't lay around. You cannot do that. I wasn't, you can't just like think you're going to live off of somebody. And though that became, my belief system, that created a belief system, for myself. And now I am at this stage in my life where I want to believe something different because I know something different now. And yeah, so I was not even able to come here and talk about whatever I'm talking about now because I thought, who's going to listen? But actually, when I look at myself and I'm doing the recordings, I'm actually talking to myself. So I am my greatest audience. I am listening to my higher self now because we have a higher self. All of this came from a spiritual awakening. Trust me. This spiritual awakening, boy, whoo, anybody else out there? Anybody else in the world somewhere having a spiritual awakening and it's just like, what? We're not the only inhabitants in this world. Anybody else? Like, we chose to come here. Anybody else know that this is not all there is? When we go to sleep at night, we are in our natural state as spirits. And we could possibly actually meet up with each other to continue to support each other along the way. You got some people that are supporting you, that are teaching you. I got some great teachers. I'm telling you, every experience that I am having and have had has been a teacher to me. I wasn't looking at it like that at first. I was not. It was more like, you are a pain in my ass, or this is what you are doing and it annoys me. I've never kind of been a victim. I don't have that victim mentality. I got some other stuff, but not a victim. I have been victimized, and I understand that how victims, behave. We're victimized at certain times, but I've always felt empowered to keep it pushing. So And I've always tried to look at like how I could do something better. At the end of the day, I had to go to sleep with myself. Nobody else was around. So I would think about how I could make it better or please someone else. So that was coming from a place of like maybe not so much like I didn't want to hurt someone, or I wanted to make things, make people happy or whatever, just not to have conflict. So maybe it was coming from a place of avoiding something and not really, I didn't know. I was young. So I know now. Yeah, I wasn't really like thinking about it in that way. But now I know something different. Yeah. It's mind blowing. But I'm so happy. I'm so happy today. I don't have the same feeling about being here on earth as I used to. I used to want to commit suicide. I started that around 14 years old. I was like, I don't want to be here. I did not think that I really belonged here. I was a thumb sucker. I sucked my thumb. It was so soothing. And yeah, I kind of hung around my mother. And yeah, I didn't want to be in this life. I have since had a soul contract reading, and yeah, she helped me to understand why I've always thought of suicide and not being here and like being in this place that's so grand and so beautiful that everyone is supposed to be able to get to. Well, no, not everyone, but if you didn't commit sins and stuff like that, at least is what I was taught. Like I was conditioned through Christianity. So I don't even need to get into that because everyone knows what that's like if you have been conditioned in that way. So, but whatever traditional religion that you have grown up with or been conditioned and programmed, that's what you know. So you operate from what you know, and that's how you become, that's how you believe. That's what you believe. So it's totally something different. It's not even that. It's not. And I'm glad. I am so happy to know, to become more aware of who I really am. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful. Every day I am grateful. Now, this has not come without some pain and some earth. Let me tell you, here on earth, woo! This right here is not for the faint at heart. It is not. It's not. If you are here and you see this and you are listening to this right now, you chose to be here. You are supposed to be here, and your existence matters so much on this earth. We are a collective from one consciousness, one that is God, the all that is, the essence, the source of all that is to be, ever will be, ever was. That is it, the all that is. That means Mother, Father, God. I said Mother, Father, God on something, a YouTube short, and there was a man who said, God ain't no woman. God is a man. I could feel his energy. It was like, girl, what are you talking about? Everybody knows that. That's crazy. Then God can't be the all that is if God is not me. So, bless you. And yes, Mother, Father, God. So, I'm just saying, like, you didn't just come from your mother and your father. Yeah. I have to document this. I really do. I have to document this because I'm going to have grandchildren one day. And I want them to know. I want them to understand. They're coming with a different understanding anyway. Trust me. It's a whole new species. We are healing the ancestral bloodline. We are, our generation. I'm 58. Yes, so that our kids and grandkids don't have to. This is a tough one, though. Okay? It is. It's very tough. But it's becoming more rewarding. It is, the more that I change my point of view about it, right? The more that I learn and I open up myself. And your grandmother and your granddaddy, your parents, your sisters, cousins, friends who passed on, they not dead. They are not. That was a shock. That was a shock to me. Growing up, whenever there was a death, it was always like a lot of crying. But then, I would listen to the preacher and it was like everyone's going to this place, hopefully, that was in heaven, that was going to be, streets of gold, and you get your emeralds and your crowns and your jewelry. My mother would say that. She would. My mother also was a seeker of knowledge. So she was also like teaching and learning about metaphysical things. That's how I learned it. That's why when all of this spiritual awakening, I was like, I could draw back on everything, every book that she gave me. She even took me to a past life regression session of a guy who was teaching the Course in Miracles. And yes, and I was all of 24 years old, 23. And it freaked me out, trust me. So, but what I'm saying is that my mother, even though it was kind of confusing. So, we were Christian, or we had been raised that way, but my mother was a seeker and she read everything. She had so many books, and there were books that she would give me, and then books because I love books, I would just go and read some books. And the first book I read about near-death experience was Embraced by the Light, Betty Eadie. And man, I wanted to be there. That place that she described, I'm telling you, I was like, I want to go to that place. I really did, all the time. So, what are you willing to give up? Are you willing to give up old beliefs and old habits and patterns? I'm telling you, the bloodline is strong. Your family, I'm telling you, we're close to our family. We're like this. When you step away and you start to believe something different and do something different, I mean, either your family is going to support you or they're going to look at you like you crazy and they won't support you. But that doesn't mean that you don't keep going. You follow your soul. Your soul is in control, not you, and not your family or your friends. You are in control. You are a sovereign spirit and you're a sovereign being. You have a right to be here on earth. You have a right to see the world through your own eyes. You chose to incarnate here. It is safe for you to be here. Your soul, your body is your soul's vehicle, and you have a right to be in your body. You have a right to love. You have a right to be loved. Yes, all of that. You have a right to know where you came from, to know your cosmic origin. It's not just your mother. It's not just your father. You have a right to that. You have a right to know source and who source is and how you're connected to the divine. That is your right. I'm exercising my rights today. Yes. As a sovereign spirit, if I chose to be here, I chose to incarnate here, then I am sovereign. And it's not in a sovereign, like I can do what I want and not arrogant. It is not. I've been dropping into my heart. I've always lived in my heart. But more now that I clear the baggage and the old beliefs and the fears and the doubts and the unworthiness and the pain and the trauma and the addictions. Yeah. Once I'm clearing those things, getting rid of them, picking them out one by one. I love that. I'm not rushing. We don't have to rush. God never ceases to exist. We have been around. That, you know what? One of my Oracle decks, it's an amazing deck, and they were talking about birds. It was, and the fossils of the birds that they have found over 1 million years ago. Well, what makes you, if they found fossils, this is what I'm thinking. I'm not talking to you. I'm saying to myself, 1 million years ago, so then how does that work? We didn't just get here. It makes you wonder. It makes you think. Yeah, we didn't just get here. I understand we've had multiple lifetimes. Wow. According to my soul contract and my soul chart and all of that, I don't like being here. my type, or yeah, it's very dense here, and so that's the reason why I have begin numbing very early on, numbing myself to this world. And I have had lots of addictions. Trust me. Whatever it is that make me to soothe me for being here. But I am embracing a different perspective about it. I have to. It's what is. It's true. I can't change it. I also know that I'm not here alone. We come from one consciousness, so we're all family, and we are fighting in this world. Like, it's always been like that in this world, fighting and wars and stuff like that, and treating people like they don't matter on this earth. And I tell you what, I am watching everything that is happening, and I'm not being shaken by any of it, because I still know that Source is in control of all of it. The God that you talk about in church all the time, or in the synagogues, or wherever you're talking about, whoever you call God, Yahweh, whatever it is, however you describe the source that we all come from. Yes. You know what helped me with that, though? The Course in Miracles book. Whew. It's pretty deep. But in the book, initially, it's like you have to look at this computer and see God in it. You see God in everything. They start with looking at the wall, looking at the car, looking at your name, looking out, looking at the table, looking at the chair. You have to see God in the chair, God in the nail, God in the phone, God in the pen. You have to see God in your Beats case. God is everything. Everything you see and do not see. It's interesting to me, but I just wanted to talk about it. I am so excited too about what's to come for me, because what I want and I desire, and I'm training myself. I just listened to Dr. Joe this morning. Today is February the 6th, and he was definitely talking about what's happening on February the 6th. It's this day. This day is the day for you. And he gave some steps too. And I'm going to do them. 7 days. Yes. Number 1, see yourself as your future self. 2, feel gratitude. Write down 3 things. This is on day 2. Day 3, you need to break addictions. Yes. Break those addictions, those old habits. Pause and ask yourself, does this behavior serve me? Does it serve my highest good? Does it serve my purpose? I like that one because I've had lots of addictions. I mean, I just got to be honest. Yeah, I have. On day 4, you got to dress. You got to perform. Day 4, you dress up. You dress up as your future self. So if you want to be a real estate mogul, then you dress up. You get suited up today and walk around and think and act and be just like that real estate mogul that you want to be. If you want to be a podcaster, get up. What would a podcaster do in the day? What would you do if you had your podcast and millions were following you? What would you do? On day 5, you release control of the outcome. I love this. I love this one. I mean, because that takes pressure off you, really, if you think about it. If you really think about it and get honest. When you desire something and you start thinking about how you're going to get it, and then how you're going to get the money, what people are going to be involved, how you're going to get to the end of it, and what the outcome will be. What if it doesn't do this? What if it does? We're like that. Our brain is not even like equipped to know that. That's what I learned. It's not even equipped to know that. We can't know the outcome. So, hey, release from the outcome. Release control, yes. Number 6, move your body. Move your body. Move your body. So day 6, you get up and move your body. Dance, run, take a hike, do whatever you want to do, but just keep your body moving. And then day 7, the work is done. You're a whole new person. You wake up and you are like, it's like a rebirth. I'm going to do it. I feel rebirthed already anyway. I do. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to be honest. If it were not for my ancestors and the angel beings that are around me, I really, really don't think I would stay here. I know that I probably would have given up because I have tried and thought of giving up so much. From 14 years old to in my 50s. Just last year. And I already had the spiritual awakening, but I was like, damn it. I've been listening to people who have NDEs and what they say over there, that love, that pure, unadulterated love, even if you say you're going to give up, you got guys that are going to help you, but you can't give up. My ancestors was like, you can't give up. You never cease to exist. You take your consciousness right on the other side of the veil. So if you over here and you're still believing that you're not worthy, you're going to cross over feeling the same way. And you probably are going to be shocked that you're still, a consciousness, and you're going to see everything down here happening, and you're going to want to come back here because you're vibrating or understand your consciousness moves with you. So if you're still in fear, you're going to be fear of moving through the unknown, right? So you still see your family here and you want to go back to what's familiar. So you probably going to hang around down here as a spirit and not evolve because there's evolution taking place on the other side of the veil too, y'all. Yeah. I mean, you ain't got to believe me. If I didn't know me, I would believe me. No, I'm just kidding. Because all of this information is coming because I'm ready. I am ready. But yeah, I just wanted to talk. This is like raw and unfiltered. And I just wanted to talk today. Today is my sister's birthday. This is the day that she chose to incarnate here. Happy birthday. I'm telling you, choosing to incarnate here. Marinate on that for a second. If you chose to be here, then you cannot blame anything on anyone. Like your life, like you can't. You have to take some accountability for this one. That's what I learned. So I am concentrating intentionally on releasing 4 things from my life, from my mindset. Yes, to change. I am so worthy. Goodness, I'm so worthy. I don't know what to do with myself, honestly. And I don't have to do anything for anyone, say anything. I'm just worthy because I'm here, because I am a spirit, a soul that has come here to experience itself and to experience who I really am, which is pure love. All of us have. We all have really the same purpose if we're here to experience ourselves and God is experiencing itself through us. That we all have the same purpose. We come down here and we get up and we express it. I guess it manifests itself in different ways, of course. Not even I guess. I mean, that's obvious. However, we really just seem to have the same purpose. That is to love more, to ascend, to evolve, to expand ourselves, to see how big we can get. Because we are so much more than just what you see. You are not your body and you are not your mind. So I'm telling you, if it wasn't for my daughter, she chose me as her mom and her dad. She chose her dad. I would not even know how to connect with my ancestors. And because she gave me that permission slip, because here, we were raised as a Christian. So, of course, that's how I raised her. She went to Christian school here and Republican Christian school, too. A Republican Christian school. That was a whole nother, trust me, I would not have even walked into that church, but I was meant to be there. And I had the greatest experience ever in Hickory Grove Baptist Church and Hickory Grove Baptist Christian School. I'm telling you, it was nothing but growth for me in that place. So yeah, this is how I raised her, but she is her own. She's got to be some type of star seed, or she's an indigo child. Butterflies followed her for years. I didn't. They only came when she came here. She was in college, and she would come home sometimes, and the butterflies would show up. She's always been connected to nature, and she's always been so vocal, and like she's just fearless, and she's had her own mind and of who she wants to be, and she had so much courage, much more than I had at her age, so when she told me about oracle decks and how to build an altar to speak to my ancestors and how to call them because everyone operates on free will, even angels. Nobody's busting down your door like, yeah, we want to guide, love, and protect you. They're gonna do it anyway. But it's all about free will. So they're not gonna step in here until we call them and we ask for their help. And I'm telling you, I have been through so much. I have been through so much on this earth that I want the help of any light beings, all of the light. I do. I am so open. I am so open. So, and I trust myself today. I do. I called my ancestors, and they came. And see, here's the thing. Your mother's mother has a mother, has a mother, has a mother, has a mother, has a mother. Your father's father has a father, like, it's a lot of them. So I only knew my grandparents, and I knew my great granddad on my father's side. But just a little bit. When I was young, he made his transition. And so I went to the altar that I created to call ancestors known and unknown, who have my highest good as their intention, because some ancestors, maybe they have not even evolved. They're doing whatever they do, however they're evolving and expanding. I don't think they up there just sitting around like looking at us like they can't be wasting that type of time, right? Or there's no time, but I'm just saying. But yeah, I called them ancestors known and unknown. And they showed up as a serious gang. I'm telling you, it was a lot of them. I mean, I was calling them and I was using the oracles, but it wasn't until like a couple years later that I started my meditation journey, and with my sister from Panama, and she leads a meditation group. Check her out. She's on the tube. She's in my, she was interviewed on the Fear to Freedom Project. But she challenged us to like do meditation on our own. And I did. And she said to focus here, and I did. And that is when my ancestors showed up. I couldn't see them. I could feel them and I could hear them. It was like I was in a cocoon, and it was the presence of many of them. It wasn't one. It was not one. Trust me. It was a lot. I mean, I felt the presence of many, and they were talking to me. I could hear them. And it wasn't like me talking now, like full sentences. It was like short, like, serve humanity, serve humanity. We will show you the way. You are not to be afraid of anything. That's what they said. You are not to be afraid of anything. Serve humanity. Millions will follow you. We will show you the way. Be forgiveness. Always forgive. I wrote it down. I was present. I knew I was present. I knew I was hearing this. I knew I was in my room, but I was literally like, guess what I asked them? What about money? That was the first thing. I'm like, what about money? How about who asked that? That is hilarious. Who asked that? I did. I was like, I gotta get water. What about money? And I'm not even going to get into it, but the energy of money showed up immediately as soon as I said it. That's like a whole nother, talk. But it did happen. And after that, it lasted for, I don't even know how much time, but after it was over, I just fell to the floor prostrate to like, I was just so grateful. I was so grateful. I was like, I know that happened. I'm not crazy. I felt that. I felt their presence, their love, everything. It was just, and even the consciousness of God showed up that day, because I was like, oh, wow. So, yeah. And then I heard them say, go journal. And I wrote everything down. So I will publish that one day. I don't know. But I just wanted to stop in and say, like, release some stuff. Let's change the way we see things. Let's change the way what we believe about ourselves. We have to. You are so worthy to be here. You're supposed to be here. I'm telling you, you wouldn't be here if you wasn't supposed to be here. There's no accidents under the sun. Nothing is an accident. So you're here. You're supposed to be here. That's it. There's nothing that I can do about that except enjoy the ride. It's funny. I wondered, what I was in another lifetime. But I say this to myself every day and every night. I have to shift. Things are shifting. I'm growing. I'm learning. I'm expanding. I'm evolving. I'm loving more. I'm receiving love more. But I have to say these things. I have to do things that's going to keep me like, yeah, grounded, stay grounded. I have a right to be here. I chose to incarnate on earth. It is safe for me to be here. My body is the home of my soul. It is safe for me to be in my body. I have a right to be in my body. It is safe for me to manifest the life I desire. I have a right to love and receive love. It is safe for me to accept love. I have a right to speak my truth and be heard. It is safe to be my authentic self. That's what you're getting right here. I have a right to see the world through my own eyes. You have a right to see the world through your own eyes. I have a right to know the divine. I have a right to know. It is safe for me to walk the planet and to live with purpose. I have a right to know my soul's purpose. Yes, we have a right to know our soul's purpose. If the soul is in charge, this is what I'm thinking. This is what I said. If the soul is in charge, like, who's the soul? That's how I started, like, answers started coming, because I'm like, well, who's the soul? I want to talk to the soul. Like, who? That's me. I can talk to my soul. The soul knows. You have a right to walk here. You have a right to know your soul's purpose. It is safe for me to be at home upon Mother Earth. And I have a right to know my cosmic origin. You have a cosmic origin. You're not just from your mama and your daddy. Yeah, I have a right to know that. So that's why I have opened myself up to say, hey, who am I? How do I fit in here? And all of the answers are coming to me. I love you. I do. I love you so much. Whoever is looking at this, I'm serious. And I know that we're connected. So, peace and love to you. I'm telling you, hang in there. Release. Believe something different about yourself today. You can examine yourself, investigate your own belief patterns and your belief systems, and love yourself more. You are so worthy to be here. I love you. Peace and love. Thanks for watching.